What's up, YouTube? So I got asked a question some months ago, and it just now dawned on me to answer it. But it was a music battle: Curtis Mayfield versus Barry White. Who would I take of the two? Two of my all-time favorites. But like with anything, I can always break it down, and so I will break it down. If I'm going by vocalists, and it might surprise it, may not, I'm taking Barry White. I thought Barry's voice was very soulful, very haunting, very timbre. That's what Marvin Gaye once told him. Thought he had a distinctive way that he would put it down as a vocalist. So I'm taking him with that one. Songwriter, I gotta give the edge to Mayfield, I think, because Mayfield was able to um, of course the songs with the impressions and stuff like that. I gotta give it to him with that. Production, I'd say it's about pretty much a dead heat. I think it's pretty much a dead heat with that. I think they both produce strong quality. They had a very unique way that they arranged, so I think that would kind of go into it. Um, I think that the mixes were a bit fresher with Mayfield, but I thought Barry White's sound hit me a little bit more. Showmanship, Barry White, Barry White. Uh, what I would call a balanced musical versatility, I'd have to say Barry White. I thought he was a bit more versatile with his presentation. It's just, and I think Barry's style moved me. It didn't kind of had a certain vibe. I thought Mayfield's soundtrack work, even though Barry White did do Together Brothers soundtrack, which was tight. But I always thought that that's where Mayfield did more of his damage as a soundtrack producer artistry. Whereas I thought Barry White gave me more that I liked in terms of his albums and his totality. I thought that Barry was able to bridge that gap better. So if I had to go with that, I'm giving it to Barry. Barry White had been writing and producing for Love Unlimited and, did a lot of stuff. Very versatile, talented cat. It's just that, the arrangements and everything like that. Well, that's pretty close. Because Gene Page did a lot of stuff with Barry White's arrangements, which was tight. He got tagged the maestro. It's a lot of stuff that went there. Mayfield had strong arrangements and so on and so forth. So they both kind of are close. Impacts of soul, impacts of movement. But for me, I listen to probably more Barry White. Probably listen to more Barry White. And I think his songs kind of hit a little bit more harder as far as that groove. And then, of course, he had the balance of humor. He had a way of kind of like putting stuff in a certain way. So that was a way that he kind of like spoke to me a little bit more. But it's a close battle. Make no mistake about it. Because when it was asked of me who would I would take of the two, I had to have a Scooby Doo one. I was like, huh? I said, wow. I didn't see that one coming and didn't think about it like that. So then I had to kind of like get it together. But then, like I always say, unlike drink champs, I don't do no draws or ties because I can always pick one or the other. There's always something that puts me in the frame of mind like, yeah, this is it right here, which will separate the two. And so it comes down to preference, but I took Barry White over Curtis Mayfield. But it's a good battle though. Make no mistake about it. Because both very talented and both well-rounded cats. Respect. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share if you like. Hit membership. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Stay woke. Stay free. On my one-time peace.